What's up, amigos? It's the Prodigy Maker Minute with yours truly, Chris Lewitt. As you may know, I'm the former #1 for Cornell University, pro circuit player, elite junior development coach, and author and educator, author of The Secrets of Spanish Tennis and the Tennis Technique Bible. Well, I have something very cool in my hands here. I don't know if you can see this, but this is called Advice to Improve Your Game by the great one, William Pato Alvarez. And he actually handed this to me in person many years ago, probably almost 20 years ago. Now, this is actual artifact, document, legit, straight from the hands of Pato Álvarez. And it's a very simple document. His book is much more complex, but there's some real gems in here that I wanted to share with you. And I'll just share one for this Prodigy Maker Minute. But you know, the first thing that Pato Álvarez says in terms of giving you advice to play your game, the first thing he says is the main goal of tennis is to try to make fewer errors than your opponent. I don't think most of the kids from the US think that way, or in many other parts of the world. But what do you guys think? Is that the main goal of tennis? And then he continues and he says, when you play 2 sets, it's necessary to win 60 points. So he's using some rough numbers here. For that reason, Pato loved to talk about points and like how many points it takes, the math of winning a set or losing a set. For that reason, it's important to give the minimum possible points and to take advantage from the gifts of the opponent. Normally, he or she usually does between 20 and 30 unforced errors. In order to be able to avoid errors, I must hit the ball at least at a speed that permits me to play with the confidence that it's going to pass over the net. So Pato's obsessed with this idea of you got to win 60 points, and you have to try to give away as few as possible. So you'd like your unforced errors to be, maybe 5 or 10, less, maybe hopefully less than 10 per set. And also you do need to hit winners too, which I'll talk about in a moment. But basically, you got to keep your unforced errors really low, and that way take advantage of the gifts that your opponent gives you. And he says that normally players will give between 20 and 30 unforced errors. So that's between 10 and 15 unforced errors per set. So if you can get 10 to 15 unforced errors in a set, you only have to accumulate 15 more points, more or less, to win a set. I think he's using some rough math there. Tell me if you guys agree or disagree. But this is the way that Pato Álvarez saw the game. This is the genius mind. I don't know if you agree or not, but the game is very simple. You got to keep your unforced errors down. You got to let your opponent's unforced errors accumulate. And I used to talk with Pato, and I asked him about winners and weapons, and he did believe in that. And he was kind of obsessed with a player having like 2 shots, 1 or 2 shots that could accumulate the rest of the bulk, the remainder of the points. So you have to get that magical 15 or 20 points. So I remember he was working with an ATP pro, and I was talking to him about it, and he was saying, yeah, this guy's amazing. He's going to do great on the tour because he can get like 20 points just with his serve. And I think it was 20 points in the match. So like maybe the guy could get 10 points per set just with the serve, like untouchables, aces, return forced errors, unreturnables, that kind of thing. And then the other weapon that Pato wanted was typically the forehand. We can talk more about that in future episodes as well. So if you could get, let's say, 10 points with your serve, 10 points with the big forehand, and then keep your unforced errors down, and your opponent, you assume your opponent's going to donate you about 10, more or less. This is according to Pato's math. There's your set right there, easy peasy. But that's the way Pato Álvarez saw the game. First advice that he gives, and the first way that he talks about tennis, is he talks about tennis as a game of errors. And when you play, hit at a speed. This is interesting. He says, hit at a speed that you won't make too many mistakes at. Don't overcook the ball. Don't overheat the ball. And how many kids am I coaching right now that do not do not control the ball very well. They like to hit the ball big, but they make a lot of errors, and they suffer for that. Anyway, guys, what do you think about this tactical advice from Pato Álvarez? I have in my vault here so many great old documents, interviews, notes. I have reams of I have notebooks and notebooks and notebooks of notes, and I'm going to be sharing with you guys some of the Spanish wisdom over the coming months. If you like this Prodigy Maker Minute, check out my big show, The Prodigy Maker Show. It's available live on this channel and also as a podcast. Also, please subscribe. If you've already subscribed, thanks for being part of our community. And if you haven't subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? Join us, and you can be party to all the great stuff that we're doing on this channel. I'll see you guys on the next program.